Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob. I hope you're all having a good day. Let's go ahead and make sure you can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the questions box. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. And good morning to you as well. Hey, Roman, morning. Or good afternoon, I guess I should be saying. Well, no, Roman, for you, it definitely is morning. All right. All right, summertime is over, folks. It is back to the art of trading. It is back to hopefully some bigger moves, although we did have some nice ones over this summer. But hopefully back to some bigger moves, and which could potentially lead to some bigger profits. So awesome. Excuse me. So I'm still battling a little bit with this hoarseness in my throat. Coming up on September 12th, that is this Thursday, is our very first ever Mastermind Online group. Amelia, I don't know if you saw my text message. Take a look at that. I don't know where we're at, if I should even be talking about this today. Did we close it out at this point? I know you had a couple people that you were working with, but let me know how many seats we have left in that. Yeah, Will's excited, I know. Yeah, I agree, Helen. I want more summer too. I am not, I was driving the other night. We were out in Lloyd's Neck, on North Shore, visiting some good friends of ours. And we're coming back, and the road has no lights on it. And I remember looking at the clock, it was 7:56, and it was dark out already. I'm like, yeah, this is not cool at all. Let's see. Trading You coming up on the 17th. Mastering the Trade. Those of you that are in Power Option Plays, that is an included workshop with you. It's $297 if you want to attend and you're not a member of POP. Where we're going to go over all the tips, the techniques, the strategies, the questions that you guys have to answer them and make sure that you get them right. You get the answers that you need. The Mastermind Live group coming up on September 20th. We're doing a live one-on-one on the 19th as well. So I'll be doing 2 days in a row there. And then on the 26th, we've got our next Monster Market Movers. Morning, Robert. Power Hour each and every Monday. Tonight, we will be back in action with E-mini Think Tank. And then, of course, POP, Power Option Plays, is every Tuesday and Sunday. So, guys, we've got Mastermind Group. I haven't heard back from Amelia yet, so you may go to the page and it's already closed down. My last understanding is we had 2 seats available, I believe, and then we close it out. If we hit it, don't hit it, doesn't matter. Guys, there is a discount code called VALUE, capital V. All right, so the last email. All right, so Amelia said the last email, we said we had 3 seats left, and we just had one other person enroll, so we now have 2 seats left. So I was correct. I knew there was one that you were talking to. Amelia, if you can make sure that code VALUE still works there, I would appreciate it. Guys, it gives you a little bit of an extra discount on it, but if you go to the website, if you just go to wealthbuildershq.com and register, log in, you'll see the Mastermind group there. Click on it, and it'll take you right over to the page to go ahead and get yourself registered. The bit.ly I gave you is just a way to get there if you don't go to the home page. That's all. Good afternoon, Marianne. All right, here is our follow us page. Make sure you are checking out what we're doing. I'm supposed to go in the office today and shoot a couple more videos. I'm not sure if I'm making it with the hoarseness in my throat, especially since I've got to teach 2 hours again tonight yet for E-mini. So that's probably not happening today, but we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's go and look at, let's go back over here. Let's go look at the S&P 500. And this is updated today already. You can see it says 11:34, so I did that about 5 to 12. 8 to 12 is when I did the update. It shows we're up 5.5, but we are pulling back. So we've got a 29.96 level. You just grab a pad. Okay. So we have a 29.96 level right above head. And we also have the 3,000. And then we have the 30.28, which is the all-time high that we hit not long ago. We finally broke out of this ascending triangle. Not a good breakout. When I say that, according to the triangle rules, we didn't break out in the right place because of the triangle, but it broke out, right? And it was a good, strong break. We tried to climb, and that break came on the 5th, right, which was Thursday, right? We tried to climb on the 6th, which was Friday. We pushed up, pulled back. I accredited that to some profit taking. I talked about it last week in Trading You. I talked about it in Power Option Plays over the weekend. And same with Cover Call Explorer. And then today we gap up and we pull back again. So if we really zoom in on this, not really getting in on those couple of candles in there. If you look, you could see that we gapped up, right? We are sitting right now about the high on Friday. We pushed down to about the open on Friday. So we're very much range bound in here. It's actually, when you get to Darvas box, it's actually a pretty awesome way the structure is setting up in there, right? So we do have higher highs. That is important. We definitely have higher highs. But that pullback like that is saying that that was more of a here kitty kitty. We opened up higher. Script again. We opened up higher. And now we're sitting right there. So we opened up the top arrow. We're sitting at the bottom arrow right now. Ish. Again, this is, half hour old at this point now. But little concerning, not now, not right now, little concerning at the end of the day where we close. If we can close above Friday's close, we're still okay. If the wick starts to penetrate much lower and gets down below Friday's close, that will concern me a little bit, unless we come back with a strong close for the day. So I think the profit taking took place on Friday. I think today is a little bit more of, okay, trader number one, which way are you going? And trader number two goes, I don't know, I'm waiting to see what trader number three is doing. Right? Everybody's just looking at each other to see where the market's going right now. So we'll have some bullishness happening. We still have some strength in the market, no question. But what did it come? It came out on CNBC earlier today that the third quarter S&P, the earnings per share, was expected to be down 3% across the board for S&P 500 companies from a year ago. So I think it was a year-over-year number. So it is not a good sign. Again, we talk about recession, we talk about economy, we talk about tariffs. None of this is a good sign for us longer term. For today, it's not going to make that much of a difference, but for longer term, market pullbacks and such, that's where the concern sets in. So Lisa said, what does it mean to have so many long candles in the S&P? Well, if you have long candles, if you're just talking about big candles, Lisa, it all depends what the candle looks like. If we have, as an example, we have a candle that looks like this as a bullish candle, right? And forgive my wicks being off a little bit there, but that is just strength in the market, right? The same thing if you were to color it in. Come on. If you were to color it in red, it's just a bearish candle. So it doesn't matter. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. The concern comes in when you start seeing things like this. Either you get this type of a candle, right? Really short wick on one side, really long wick on the other, or let me just do it this way since I'm here already. Right, that type of candle where you get those longer wicks on there. That's a lot of indecision. So, but depending on what it is, if you look at, if we number these 1, 2, and 3, just for ease of what we're talking about. If you look at number 3, that's pure indecision. We ran up, we ran down, big time. We closed about where we opened. Number 2, we definitely had bullish strength in there and we gave it all back. So depending on where all this happens is really a bigger point than the candles themselves. So if we go back and look at the S&P 500, goodness gracious, you would swear that the mailman has beat my dog senseless once before with the way they bark. So if you look at the S&P now, let's actually go to F2. So if you look here, the 3 candles we have are very small. When you start looking at this big bearish candle, big bearish candle, big bullish candle, it's just market direction for that day. We don't have a lot of those indecision type candles in there. Small little one here, small bodied candle here, right? Most of it was when the bigger candles were strong directional moves, which was all it was. So does that make sense, Lisa? So Robert said the lower wick was the pivot point on the ES. And so far it is hold. The longer wick, the bipolar market. Yeah, it wasn't your mail person, Robert. I heard him barking and I turned around because usually that's UPS, that bark. Good, Lisa. I'm glad it makes sense. And usually that's the UPS driver. And he ain't even got stopped. They hear the truck 2 blocks away and they're barking already. They just know the sound of his truck. And every once in a while they're disappointed it's FedEx. They still bark, but not like they do with the UPS guy. There's something about that brown uniform that they don't like. So, right now we've got the levels, guys. We're looking at 29.96, 3,000, 30.28. If you go over to your daily chart, right? So what do I have here? Let's see. So there's that 30.28-ish level right there, right on the top. Right. So if we kind of bring it in a little bit, let's go snap 2 more lines in there. Don't worry about where you put them. It's easier to make the adjustment from here than it is trying to 29.96. No, not 3,200, 3,000. Okay. So you can see right where we're talking about those 2 levels right up above head now on our daily chart. And Robert said on today's high on the ES was a pivot point. Oh, too much. There we go. Right. So right about 90. So we got 90, 96, 3,000. Oh, today's low. I'm sorry, Robert. You said today's low was pivot. I got it. My bad. We got 96, we got 3,000, and we got 30.28 as our upside. So we're going to have some issues, some concerns out there with those levels right now. All right. So that's where the market's looking at, guys. So you got to make sure you've got your focus on those numbers. You need to know those numbers. You need to see them on your charts. Because right now I don't want to call it pinned because we're not there yet, but we're stuck for right now between the 8 and those 2 horizontal lines. And once again, don't even look at it as a line. Look at it more as a zone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. Let's see, format rectangle. Oh, there we go. Fill color. Got it. Okay. So look at that as a resistance zone, not per se 2 lines, but they're a zone. You may pop your head above that 96. Don't think that that means you're breaking out. I'd wait for the breakout of the 3,000. So Robert's talking about on ES. Oh yeah, good move. Good move. That the pivot point is 29.80.55. So that's the level we're looking at right there. Came down close to it earlier this morning. Came back. Wow. And there's the H pattern, the failure, the break of the moving averages. 1, 2, 3 plus lines right now. We're looking at on ES, almost 4-line move on this ES. It's a great H, Amos. It's a fantastic H. All right. So S&P is not holding. I have to go back and look at the 5-minute chart. S&P has filled its gap, filled the gap up this morning. Good move down. Right? And even if you look here from the morning move when we had our move back up, there was the move down. We came back up into the 618. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 lines, 4.5 lines right now on the pattern. Right? If we delete that one and you put it in here, from here to here, right? We stretched down through the 618. We snapped right back up. 1, 2-line move, and we vacillated in there before we got the 3rd line. Right? So no matter how you look at it, guys, the H pattern works. It's inverted, upside down. One of my students called it an upside down Flint rubber bubble cake. But there's your upside down H. Beautiful pattern, beautiful structure, beautiful setup in there. Come on, go away. All right, there we go. And right now we're continuing. So what are we looking at now? So if we're looking from a 5-minute chart, you can see how the last couple of days have gone, right? On a 5-minute chart, just nothing, pure nothingness. Probably that 29.75.62 level is our next target down there. And remember, this is where Robert had said we had that 29.80.5. You may see some hesitation down at this bottom here, which is 76.5. But that 75.62 seems like the next place to go. Let's see, has the market? So right now on S&P, we're down $1. We're down 1 point on the S&P. We're still up a little bit on the Dow, but the S&P is kind of falling down. All right, let's put that daily back in line. Let's go and see what's going on here. Biggest movers down. Amgen, $7. Hold on a second. Okay, we got a bullish trade, I believe, a bullish trade on Amgen, so we'll probably stop out of the balance of that. Booking, we're knocking it out of the park, that's for sure. Booking's up 16. We were up about 20 before. Got 1 contract left on booking. All right, let's see. Let's just look by symbols here. Home Depot is flat. We've got an open trade on Home Depot. Netflix, I think we've got 1 contract left on Netflix. We'll probably stopped out of that. Square, we've got a bearish trade on Square. Good, it's down another $1. And United Healthcare, I don't even have it on this page. We've got a bearish trade on that. That popped a little bit. I don't know if we have an exit on that one. Don't remember. What do you mean, Karen? On the market? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a big sell-off. I don't know what it is. I don't have CNBC on. I'm not watching anything. Maybe you should. Commercial. Can't be that important. Yeah, it's a nice drop. It's a nice drop. Why is it selling off? Because the bolstering is just not there. You know, right now we're talking about 29.77, right? 29.77. Let's go back here. Where is 29.77? That's where we are right now. It goes back to what I said in the beginning, Karen. You know, trader one looking at trader two, looking at trader three. Okay, what are you guys doing? What's next? What's next? This is a trader right now testing a move to the downside and seeing what they can get out of it. Close below here would become extremely concerning if we did close, when I say here, below yesterday's close, right? And if we turn that into a mini fib, assuming we close down today, this, you know, below yesterday's price. It's just assumptive, of course. You know, that 29.66 is the hesitation point. So we definitely have a little bit of room on the S&P to go. S1 on the ES, Robert said, is 29.73. And we're at 29.77 just based on where we are right now. So we're getting close. And nothing on CNBC, so not really sure yet, kind of what's going on, but let's delete that out of there. All right, we'll pull that out. Okay. All right, so let's go take a look. Let's get back to a bigger picture. All right, so Will is asking if we could take a look at some stocks. I think we probably should. BX is the very first one he's got in there. So if you guys have some symbols you want me to take a look at, go ahead and drop them in. This is a good time for it. Let's see. We got a nice climb going on here, Will, on BX, which is Blackstone. Hey, Trip, good to see you, my friend. I'd look for the 8 as the pullback too. We don't have. We're at our all-time highs area right now. Actually, today is all-time highs, right? Let me go ahead and just do a quick startup here. So let's see. We've got a move here, this sideways, this move up, and then a pull back in there. So we've got a Fibonacci in here. Right? And why there and not here? Because this move was more of a sideways move, where this is more of a V-top in there. Right? Gap down, all of it. So, all right, based on that, let's see if it's even big enough. Okay, fib is good, at least $1 between the 50 and the 618. Excuse me. So we're okay. So we're sitting right at the 272 now, Will. So I'd be careful on a bullish entry. I'd want to see the pullback. I'd want to see it vacillate for a day or two. Let let the moving average, 8 moving average catch up there. If you're the breakout trader, then $52 and 54.80 are the two upside targets on BX. Visa. All right. So they're not talking about anything but Apple, and I don't care about Apple. So let's go put music back on. This guy's voice is driving me nuts. Visa. Woo! Baby. Smack a bang a doom maranga. No earnings or anything coming out on it. I don't know what's driven it down $5 today, unless it's spending concerns. Um, so consumer credit is all we have. Hold on a second. Well, it's U.S. So, well, actually, we'll leave it just U.S. So we've got nothing but consumer credit today. So it wasn't anything. I'm thinking maybe I missed a report. If we go and add in all of the currencies, the major currency pairs, no big reports at all. 430 GDP, manufacturing, and nothing that's major here. I mean, a lot of British announcements coming out, but nothing major here for us. So don't know why, but if you can get the pullback and close above the 8, I'd look for the move back up towards the highs near today, which was a higher high, right, than we had there. So it looks like, once again, we're in those all-time high territories. So we also had a split take place back here. 4-for-1 split on Visa. I remember that. So we were up at that 275 level before the split. Yeah, so Will said that's where it gets confusing, is when you get to the new territory. So new territory, and I'm not going to say, I don't divulge students' names as to who's doing what, who's in certain groups and so forth, unless someone's written a testimonial. But someone is coming in for a one-on-one with Rob, right? And I only would say that the person told me say it, which he and I have not talked, or they and I have not talked. So I don't, but you know who you are. When I was talking the other day, we were going over a strategy session of what is it that I'm going to do in the training? What is the things I could be the most helpful with? And I had asked that individual how they felt on technicals, whether it were technical indicators that we use or Fibonacci's, and they said, "Well, I feel pretty good with the fibs, with how to draw them and so forth." And this is kind of what I was getting at there, is when we get into these all-time high territories, that's where Fibonacci's changes a little bit. That's where the knowledge and understanding can become a huge difference of make or break. So one of the things I'm going to do right now is let me delete those trend lines. Let me draw out this here as a fib. And this is why so many people stick in things like power option plays, even though they fully understand the strategies and they got the rules all down, they're still there because market conditions change all the time. And when things are changing and you haven't ran into something before, what do? Right? So we've got our fibs in here. Let's kind of zoom in on that. We've got our Fibonacci drawn in here, right? On Visa. We check the distance between 618 and 50, and we have at least $1, so that means the fib applies, right? The fib applies. So now we can also go ahead and say, all right, I know that the negative 272 is a target, right? Those of you that are in monster market movers, you see the zero line breakout stuff we talk about all the time, right? Zero line breakout trades. We broke out, we continued to run. We never tested the 184. And what happens today? Here, excuse me, here, kitty kitty, we failed. Now, did we test a Fibit in there? No, we didn't. So let's apply a Fibit. No, we're looking at the negative, not the 882. We're looking at the negative 136. Okay, so we didn't quite get there. We got in the zone in an area, but we didn't quite get there. All right, so Will, to help me get a little more confidence in those targets, and again, this is what I talked about. I think it was here a couple of weeks ago of if we did a 4-hour Saturday advanced fib training, right? So now you go ahead and you apply an ABC there, right? A, B, C, and great confluence with the 236. Phenomenal confluence with the 618. Right? Amazing confluence with the 194.50. Right? 194.51, 194.22. Right? And those are the last ones that we have up top there. So when we have those all-time highs and we start applying that ABC on top of the fib, that helps us to derive additional strength. So we were at the all-time high already when we drew the fib. We got this pullback and this bounce off of this line when we were able to start drawing it maybe around here somewhere. We would have drawn that C, right, the ABC pattern in there, right about here as it pulled back. We already had a target. We bounced off the 236. We already had a target of the 618. So 173.41, 183.81. We already had a roadmap that told us how to trade it. When we break out, we know that Fibits are always an issue, right? But if you get a zero line breakout now, we come back and test that 183.81 and we bounce, you've got a target, you've got a very strong target as your final stopping point, potentially in there. Does that make sense, Will? Cool. All right. Let's go look at MasterCard. So we've violated the negative 618 already. So this fib needs to be redrawn. We don't have a lot of good. See, this is a nice strong move. You know, it's very much a thrusting pattern. It's a clean thrust. There's no sloppiness in it. Let me get rid of this. There's not a lot of stair stepping going on in there. And that's all we have to work with right now are those stair steps. All right, so if we analyze this one, let's draw it out. See that move up, and then we had that pullback in there, right? And we get all these little, that's kind of sideways, that's kind of a little bit, but more sideways. And there's the strong top, okay? There's the strong top. So based on that, we redraw the fibs out. Let's pull them back out again on MasterCard. And now we're sitting right at that 283.33, right? Which is a major fib line. Major. Yeah, so I don't know what the news is on them. Well, I don't really trade either MasterCard or Visa, but you know, I'm thinking the same thing. Something happened credit card wise. And American Express, no. Does Discover have one? Are they a cover card? No, that's dismal. Is Discover Discover Financial DFS, right? Yeah, so Robert said expected higher interest rates. I think MasterCard and Visa hit highs on Friday. Yeah, but then you got American Express, which is flat, and you've got Discover, which I think this is Discover, the credit card Discover. It says consumer finance, right? So I think it's them. They're up today. So I don't know what, why is American Express down just a little and why is Discover up so much? I'm really not too sure. Let's see, Costco. Same thing, Costco's up near a higher fib line. We really should have a redraw in there. I mean, we've got this move up, sideways, this move up, and a small V top in there. Not as big as I'd like to see it. And I stand corrected. If you draw the fib and the pullback comes into the 236, you've got enough normally that it was the right place. Yeah, I thought so, Robert. Thanks for confirming. It is Discover. So on Costco, we're looking at that zero line breakout. Test to 299.95. 305 would be our first target. 310 would be our second. Keeping in mind there is a 300 level in here also. Oh, well, it would have been nice if I put the price on it correctly. Come on. Oh, no. 300. Okay, right there, right? EA. Nice channel. Got the zero line breakout again. Looking at 103 on the upside, Will, if we get the continuation, and 107.5. And then U for umbrella. Okay. No, let's see. You said U. I got no U, Will. UN. Okay, got it. Unilever. All right. So easy fib draw on this one. I like when you get those small pullbacks in the middle. So right now we're in a bullish neutral bias. Get back above the 61.89. You'll have a confluence of the 8 and the 236. And we're looking at 63.62. Not big move. 62. You're looking at about $1.50. So it's not a strong move from there. So I'd be a little careful with that one. Karen, I saw you had a question in there on I think it was Karen on the splits. Just not seeing it right now. Okay, Lisa, I'm sorry. Visa, how can you tell that on the chart that there was a split? So, Lisa, if we go back and look, we had if we go to a weekly chart, right? Down on the bottom, it has D, and you put your mouse over it, it says dividend. E is earnings. We're looking for S. And here we see an S. And when you hover over the S, it says split 4 for 1. All right, so let me unscrunch that. So you see right here, that S. Now watch what happens. Lisa, if we hit the letter U on Trade Navigator, it unsplits the price. It goes back to what the price actually was and what's happened since that point. So you had one share Let's see. Let me go back and find it this way. Too scrunched up, just can't see it. All right, so you had one share on that day at about 266, and you had 4 shares the next day at 67.5. All right, because it did a 4-for-1 split, which it showed us inside of there. This is not the way you want to look at a chart for a technical analysis. It's really bad. Right? Moving averages take forever to catch up. You want to hit the letter U again, and it fixes the price as if it was one continuous price. There's just more shares of them at that point. Okay, let's see. False alarm. No one's out there. Maybe they heard the UPS truck. All right, let me see what we got. Questions. Trip asked for the triple T, which is Micron. Yeah, I like to move up to the 382 trip. We don't need that diagonal trend line in there anymore. It's actually more harmful than helpful at this point. I mean, Friday's move takes it out of the realm of trying to get into something now, unless you're looking for that 48.23 up to 49.95. You got $1.50. It's small, but it's a low price stock. But I do like the next potential 53 3/4 or 53 5/8 if you want to get closer. Right, 625 is 5/8. So it's not a bad trip. Like I said, it's kind of a day late. Oh wait, earnings. Be careful. I missed that. Not used to seeing earnings right now. Yes, Lisa, it's only on Trade Navigator with the U. All right, so we had MU, we got Itty Bitty Machine. So I'd like to see the stock hang here for a day or two. The 8 continue to climb, get near the 141, bounce off the 141 with the 145 and 148 target. Don't know, Jim. Let's see. So on UN, Jim's question was, do we have a dollar between the 50 and the 618? We do not. We do not. Nope. Not at all. I don't know why I drew it off of there. As I'm looking at the chart, it's pretty clear that there's a nice move here. But good catch, Tim. Okay, and then last one Trip had up was NVIDIA. So moving averages are not in the right order, Trip, so caution, right? We hit that 55 EMA back in March. We broke out today, but if we don't sustain it, we pull back, I'd be very concerned if we get back under that 178 level, 177.66, or 175.74, which is the 55. I'd be a little concerned there. 8 crossed through the 21, so I like that. So you can take a bullish trade. You're looking at come back to the 177.5 level up to 188. But I like it. Oh, I was wondering why it looked that way. Good catch, Amos. Amos said it's a weekly chart. That's okay. So hold on. So I did not back up enough on UN when I drew it, so that's why I drew it off of that move. But in hindsight, you could see as a bigger picture, because that's what I was looking at was at 5 right there. So that move was what we drew off of. So good catch, Amos, but it doesn't matter. The numbers don't change any. What it does, it actually messes me up now with the fib. Okay, that's better. All right, I got that. Robert's asking for AMT. All right, so obviously this fib is gone. This fib right here, let's get rid of that all-time high, which we have massively violated at this point. Right, so this fib is very valid as a fib, but then what makes us change the fibs? One of the reasons is if we have a stronger directional move on the right side of the chart. So that move was $38. That move was not. That move was $30. So we need a new fib after this pullback. All right, so we're in neutral territory right now on it, Robert. So we may get the bounce off the 50 or the 618, but I don't know what's driven AMT. I mean, there's wireless tech, you know, but they were talking some good stuff on tech this morning on CNBC, so I don't know why. But you got that 222.83 down below if you're looking for that shorter term day trade. I mean, if it was a day trade today, it would have gone 233 down to 227. Counter move on China. Very good point, Robert. I mean, and that's just it. Unless you've got some knowledge on the individual companies of what they've got involved in the overseas markets, there's so much that could be inside of there. Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it Iraq? Well, AMT is wireless telecom services. I'm not sure who you're thinking of there. So Ed said XLF is up big. Market starting to expect higher interest rates. I think MasterCard and Visa hit. Oh, that's what part of it was. Hit highs. Oh, that was Robert. So XLF is up big on market starting to expect higher interest rates. So American Tower Corp. Not sure. Let me do it here. The American Tower Corp. Not sure. Is anybody else showing AMT? Will is saying that TAS is showing that they're in real estate. Don't know. I'm just going by here where it shows wireless. Telecommunication services. Subsector of wireless telecom services. Oh, there we go. Ed says they build cell towers. Holy mackerel. Thanks, Robert. You just went 3 pages on my screen with that, but I appreciate it. Holding company that operates as a real estate investment trust which owns and operates and develops multi-tenant communications and real estate. ATC segment includes U.S. properties, Asia, ... Yep. So not sure. I don't know why real estate would be getting hit that bad, but then again, I don't know why telecom would get hit that bad today. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Guys, if I missed your question or if I missed your symbol that you dropped in, just go ahead and type it in. I don't think so. I think I got them all. Okay, so let's go take a quick look at what's actually happening right now. So we're down 6 on the S&P right now. Settled out a little bit since we started. Here's 12 o'clock. So right here is where we started. Great move down, right? Pull back, retrace, fail. I mean, it spoke volumes. This is the stuff we look at all the time in E-mini Think Tank, is these types of pullbacks. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. All right, so guys, if we push back up to the 8 and start to fail on the S&P, there's another opportunity. Right, and there's certainly, those of you that are candlestick enthusiasts, we have what's known as an open window in here. And the market doesn't like open windows. They like to close the window. So Roman is saying, what's the next, what's the new down target on the S&P 500? So first thing we want to do is look at the charts, right? What do we have on our fibs? 29.45. Is our first downside target. 47 is our 8, but that will drop by the time we get there, so that won't matter. 29.45 is the only on the daily chart that we've got to be concerned with. So let's see, 29.45 is where? Close enough. That's one. The first one, Roman, is going to be where we gap to. The start of that open window. And then closing the window. Back down there. 38. Let's see. You're welcome, Roman. Just want to go back and check, make sure I didn't miss something on here. And then, Roman, easy enough to figure out then down below, right? Because there's another open window. All right, so there's the next open window down there on the S&P 500. So, all right, so let me do this. Guys, I'm going to drop this link in right here to the mastermind group. As we said, there were 3 seats when the last email went out about it. If you guys haven't seen it, we shot a couple of videos in the office of basically what a mastermind is and how it works, right? So to just give you a little bit more detail on it so you understand it, right? There are 2 seats left. We start on Thursday as our first class. The mastermind is designed that you will be able to jump in at any point in time, but we are shutting it down as we first start. And I'm going to put a very strong focus on the core group that comes in. We'll open it up at some point in the future, but for right now, it will close down. So, you know, the FOMO, fear of missing out, right? I want you guys to be prepared now. I mean, how would you have traded differently if you had some of the details, especially the very first class that I teach is going to blow you guys away that are in there as far as what we do for downside protection, portfolio setup, all of that is a tremendous part of it. We've got 2 training sessions that are all preparatory sessions before we get into our very first strategy, right? So, and I know some of you have said, Rob, I'm in the live mastermind group. Would this be something I should get myself involved with? I would say at some point, I wouldn't say to overlap the 2 of them together, right? Is not a necessity. I think you'll get more out of it as a continuation than you will as at the same time. Couldn't think of one word for it. But guys, go ahead, and gals, I want the ladies there too. Go ahead and check this page out. Amelia did set up that code for value. So when you come down here and you go ahead and get enter that in, you know, you click to go forward, right? Put in the code, the coupon code at the bottom, capital V, and it drops you down another 100 and something. I think it's 2884. I think is what it takes you down to. I don't remember. But if you don't want to use it, that's okay. We'll be fine to have you come in at 29.97. But when we do open it back up, we are opening it up at the 39.97. That's our regular price on this is 39.97, right? So chop, chop, take advantage of it. All right, guys, my throat is shot. I hope you had a good day. I hope you got some good stuff out of this. I hope it's been a good trading day for you so far. I've done okay on the futures so far this morning. So I'm excited about what this market's doing right now. And I'm super excited about, there you go. Will said he's up 12% today. What? There it is. That's the whole idea, right? I'm super excited about showing you guys how to easily identify some of these setups and capitalize on them. So with that, have a great day. God bless. And I'll see all of you at just a ton of stuff we've got coming up over the next week or 2. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care.